Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1998 Honda Logo TS. The Honda Logo, the shortest lived car ever to enter the UK market. It lasted just 3 months. The Logo when it came here because it was already quite old in Japan. We got it in 2001 and this is a 1998 car for reference, but this would pave the way for the Jazz, and I've always liked the Honda Logo. I had an uncle who had one of these, which is great, so I remember this car quite fondly. So yeah, Honda Logo, good car. Very interesting car in this game for a reason we'll get to in a second as well. So front engine, front wheel drive, 194 horsepower, 873 kilos. Not the most impressive stats, but not too bad. Unfortunately, I've ran the Logo in the racing modification. I would have loved to forego it because this car comes in a fantastic green colour, but this car has a bit of a quirk, so I'm hoping that's going to benefit it in this regard. Anyways, this car is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Mitsubishi GTO LM Edition, set a time of 27.223. The Logo unlikely to beat that. However, can you hear that? I'm sure you can. Get used to it. The Logo is, I think, the only normal petrol car in the game to have a CVT gearbox. So we've got a CVT in this car, which basically means it's going to rev to 6,000 and stay there, which is interesting. That might give this a bit of an advantage as it goes round, because, well, I'm not having to fumble around and change gears, so I can't be in the wrong gear ever in this car, unless it's reversed. And also, it means I'm constantly in the peak power band, so I'm always making peak power. So as much as this only makes 194 horsepower, I am essentially always making 194 brake horsepower. So that's interesting. That's one of the advantages of running this series with the stock gearboxes, because if you upgrade the gearbox on the Logo, you lose the CVT. Now, there are advantages to having conventional gearboxes, sort of right gear for right corner, stuff like that. I can't really slow the car down with engine braking anymore because that doesn't exist because it's got a CVT. The other thing, of course, is even though it is a CVT and it's constantly at the peak power, you'll see when it comes out of the corners, it does sort of take a little bit of time to hunt for the top of the rev range again, so that's something working against this. There's also the noise, which is primarily the reason we don't, well, we have a lot of CVT automatics these days, but all of them have to pretend to be manuals, to the point where the one on my old Civic, they called that the CVT7, because the idea was it was supposed to act like a 7-speed automatic, even though it was a, yeah. It is weird, it's silly, I don't like it. I mean, I get why this all the time could be annoying, but I mean, it is the most efficient transmission, so, you know. Anyways, it apparently is benefiting this car quite well, because 31.056 is the quickest we've been so far, and that is right on the level of some of the, some very good front-wheel drive cars, that, so. I mean, this with 194 horsepower, you wouldn't really expect it to be this far up. I think the only thing that really has come this far up is stuff like the Daihatsu Storia, the two-wheel drive Storia. I think that... So there you go. There's the problem there. Just on that final corner, I would have been able to, if I was in a manual, I was in second gear there, I would have been able to sort of ease that in and reduce that understeer. Whereas in this, I cannot do that. I just have to sort of slam the pedal and stay there. But no, that is vastly impressive for the Logo. I was sort of half joking when I said this thing would have an advantage, but as it turns out, it really does. Yeah, that makes it like 0.7 quicker than a Micra, I think. So if you're choosing between the Micra and this is definitely the way to go. Is there a little bit more time in that? I think fractionally, maybe you could get it just in to the 30s, but I somehow doubt that is going to be happening, really. A 31.056 will place this into 202nd place. Goes in between a Peugeot 106 Rally and a Camaro, which is interesting. But no, the fact that it's close to a Peugeot 106 Rally, it beats the Fiat Barchetta, which is a good front-wheel drive car. Beats a great deal of them. Primeras, 97 Accord, Golf GTI. Beats all them. The Alfa Romeo 155 beats that. Again, as I mentioned, 0.7 quicker than the 97 Micra. It's about 0.5 up on the 96 Starlet. Only loses out really to the Demio GLX and the Storia. But even still, that is quite phenomenal from the logo. You know, there's definitely worse picks in this class. Quicker than the Corsa, there you go. That's another quick car as well, quicker than the Corsa. Quicker than the Rally Mini front-wheel drive. I'm just going down, seeing if there's anything else. Quicker than the Lotus Lan, Civic Ferio, the Mugen version anyway, the Ford Ka. For its class, for the Super Mini class, especially Japanese Super Minis, which, as we've detailed before, are not as quick as their European counterparts around here. That's quick. That's a really good job. So I guess it's a good car to call your logo. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something less CVT-ish. Until then, farewell.
My hopes and dreams are going. I'll only you back. Got up in a wall that you are not part of. Eyes on the slit of your father with love.